to Inside Politics. I'm in your bunky work. Last week, the 10th National Assembly began the process to amend the 1999 Constitution, with the public hearing in 6 regions across the country. Report from the public hearing shows that clamor for more states, local government, special states for women, state police, top demands from Nigerians. In Lagos, the public hearing was held in Ikeja. Speaking at the event, Benga Daniel, senator representing Ogun East, made a case for the creation of Ijebu State. Daniel said the Ijebu axis of Ogun State was the only province of the old province that had not been made a state. Meanwhile, the leadership of the parliament have challenged all stakeholders with a special request to engage and lobby their state assembly, noting that the National Assembly cannot successfully review the 1999 Constitution without the approval. Joining me to discuss the Constitution amendment process and the issues that arise over in the course of all this, I'm being joined by a barrister, Ajibola Oduwole. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, BDTV. Good afternoon, Helen.
Yeah, good to have you. And the process to amend the constitution is on again. We know the 9th Assembly started that process, and nothing much came out of that. But the 10th National Assembly is also started the process again. Public hearing I had last week. What is your take on the process to amend the 1999 Constitution again? A lot of people have actually said this is a jamboree, nothing will come out of it. What is your view?
Yeah, thank you very much. The powers to amend our constitution is derived from Section 9 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
Yes.
And the fact that the National Assembly is taking that initiative shows that democracy is growing and thriving. But the process of constitutional amendment is quite cumbersome because both chambers of the National Assembly, that's the Senate and the House of Rep, must have 2/3 concurrence before, after which the amendment will now be transmitted to the state assemblies.
Yes.
We also, where we also need to get 2/3 of those state assemblies before those amendments can go through. So that's
Yes.
what I mean by it is cumbersome. And of course, this is an opportunity for people with genuine grievances or agitations or whatever to come forward and make their case.
Yes.
So that if it can become part of the new constitutional amendment process.
From reports from the public hearing that was held shows that the clamor for state police, special seats for women, more local government, constitutional rule for traditional rulers, those are the issues that have dominated what Nigerians want. What is your take in that? A lot of people feel that creation of states should not be the priority now, that even the ones that we have are not viable. How do you react to that?
The clamor for creation of more states seems to be a delicate one, as in, if you look at the Southeast, for example, they have said they have the least number of states and that they deserve to get at least another state.
Yes.
And also, if you look at somewhere like Ijebu, which was a province under the colonial era.
Yes.
Till today, Ijebu is the only province under the colonial era that still do not have a state. Yes, those concerns and others are genuine, and I think they should be looked into. Of course, we cannot just brush aside the viability of our states and others, because truly speaking, states must be viable. It's not a case of states or governors running to
Turning to Abuja to
Abuja.
get allocation before they can survive. And we know that this is, despite the fact that most of these states have enough potentials. If you
Yeah.
really practice a true federalism, if they can tap into their potentials and actually, just like what we have in the First Republic. But what we have seen in the last few decades is that a lot of them actually depend on what they get from Abuja. And after that, they just sit down, fall back, just waiting for the next allocation to come. And we've seen
Yeah.
how most of these states are.
Yes, which is not really good or encouraging. So, if we are creating states that are not viable, we might be creating more burden for the federal government, which we don't want at this time.
Okay, but what about I mean, many stakeholders say the talk should be about restructuring of the country. Do you agree that we need to restructure, practice true federalism? That those are supposed to be the issue that should dominate the discussion, or the national, that is what the National Assembly should try to do. Amend the process. Let's practice true federalism, or probably let's go back to the parliamentary system of government. What is your take on that?
Well, restructuring is a very technical word depending on who you speak to. What restructuring means to you might mean something different to me, and it depends on who you talk to. Creation of state police is restructuring. Judicial autonomy is restructuring. Giving autonomy to the local government is restructuring. So it depends on who you talk to and what the person has in mind. So
Yes.
that is what we call restructuring. So I'm not sure everybody agrees on what restructuring is. And restructuring is not just a one size fits all. Different part of it can be accommodated in the constitutional amendment process.
Well,
Yeah.
but this, I'm sure I've said in the past that they are keen on state police, but we've seen that in recent time they seem to have we are hearing different tune, and the administration seem to have put that issue to not, it's not a priority anymore. How desirable, and considering the security challenge that we face in the country now, how desirable is state police?
Well, on the issue of state police, I think what we need to remind ourselves as Nigerians, especially the younger ones amongst us, state police is not something new to the Nigerian state. It's something we have practiced before.
Okay.
In the First Republic, and if we need to go back to state police, because sometimes it's not just about amendment or about laws. We must look back and say, when we had this state police in the past, what went wrong, why was it jettisoned, what improvement can we make? So for me, it's not just about state police, or it's about whatever we intend to do is about making it work for the collective good of the citizens.
What about special seats for women being clamored for?
Yes, that is a very good one in my opinion,
in the
because
parliament?
our women need to be encouraged, because if you because even in terms of career progression and all that, they should be encouraged, because anywhere you go in the world, there is something called discrimination. Positive discrimination allows people maybe from lower ethnic backgrounds that are not really advantaged to come to the fore and take positions like that. So the same thing can apply to special seats for women.
A lot of people have actually applauded that, because during the fact, considering what we've seen in the last 1 and a half decade, there have been a decline in the number of women elected into the parliament, and even those number of women who are contesting election candidates have dropped over the last 1.5 decade compared to what we saw in 1999. Despite the fact that the population of men and women are almost as equal, and even if you say women are even involved in the electoral process, you see them more during the campaigns, you see them, but why is that? But due to the process, given winning election, you know, has become more difficult in the country. That is why we are not seeing much of them elected in the, because of the money involved, violence, and all this.
Yes, that's why we need to encourage our women, because truth be told, we demand so much of them, from them. We want them to be good wives, we want them to be good mothers, we want them to be good homemakers, and still we want we demand so much from them at work as well, in terms of career advancement and all that. So there is no way they can be juggling all this and still be at the forefront of politics. So we must make concessions for them to be able to thrive in the political space.
So how do a lot of people, like a lot of Nigerians, say this process just a jamboree and nothing will come out of it? Do you think this process should? Before I ask you what are the issues you think, what are the germane issues you think we should be talking about? Do you really think this process, the NASS, some people have said this is just a waste of money, waste of exercise? We saw the protests in Akwa Ibom, where some people, the BBO said they were being carved into the proposed Obolo state, and they were not carried along in the process, and that their communities they want to take them into the proposed Obolo state, and they were not carried along, they were not consulted. All this, do you think this amendment is possible, and National Assembly is serious in what they are in this? Is it a jamboree exercise?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ini. Personally, I don't think it's a jamboree. The National Assembly is made up of representatives of the people, and the process of constitutional amendment has been strictly outlined, and that process must be followed through. So, as we are talking to our representative in the National Assembly, we should also be talking to our representative in the State House of Assembly. Is not because most times as Nigerians we are too focused on who the president is and who the president is not, while forgetting other elected representatives of the people. And like the protest you talked about in Akwa Ibom, it's good they are coming out, because it means at least they are showing their displeasure about what is going on, and I trust that the National Assembly will look at their case, and if there is need to review, it will be done. And of course, that is why we have a public hearing and all that, so that the people can come forward and state their grievances. At least it's very well that the people are not sleeping. They want to be part of the process. They are being part of the process. So that is what will eventually make it a people-centered amendment.
We're rounding up now. In your opinion, what are the issues you think are germane that should be part of the constitution? If we are to amend this constitution, these are the issues that should be there.
Of course, for me, we must think. We must take a look again at our policing system. Whether it is state police, whether it is community policing, we must. The present policing system seems not to be working, or it's making security so difficult to look into. So it's something we must look at. And the issue of creation of states is also something we need to look at. It's not something we should just push aside. Oh, but again, the viability of states must not be ignored. States both that have been created and states that intend to be created must be viable.
Okay. Okay. New constitution. People said, lawyers like you or some political analysts have said, what we need is a new constitution. That this constitution have amended in the past, and some of these issues are still there. That what you need is a new constitution and not even an amendment. Finally, how do you react to that?
I've heard so much about that, but I don't. In practice, I don't know how that works or how that will work. I've even had that position from legal luminaries.
Yes.
In the process where we are waiting for the new constitution, what constitution will be our transition constitution in the meantime? For me, whether we scrap the constitution, whether we amend, whatever it is the input of the people that matters. And for me, if you are saying we are scrapping the constitution, who are the people that will come around to put the new constitution in place? What will be the process of selecting?
They say this constitution was enacted by, was set up by the military, was written by the military, and it favors them, that does not address some of the issues that affect the everyday Nigerians. And those are the arguments.
Yes, they are correct in that regard. But at the same time, we have had several attempts at amending it. The people who are trying to amend it were elected by the people, and the public hearing and everything involves the people as well. So, for me, whatever we want, we should be able to get it.
All right. All right.
Of course, we are saying that the people we have elected to represent us are not carrying out our interests.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on the program for today. We'll be looking at the process to amend the 1999 Constitution by the National Assembly. I've been speaking with Ajibola Oduwole. Thanks, sir, for being on the program. We take a short break. When we come back, we discuss the coalition, chances against the APC in 2027. I'll be joined by a political analyst from Port Harcourt. I'm still watching Inside Politics on BD TV. Nigeria's opposition leaders have joined a new political party to challenge President Bola Tinubu and his ruling party in the 2027 general election. Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, El-Rufai, among others, have chosen the African Democratic Congress as their new political home. After breaking away from the respective parties, the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party. This coalition is seen as one of the greatest shake-up in Nigerian politics since the end of the military rule in 1999. Several political heavyweights from the All Progressive Congress have also thrown their weight behind this formation. But in recent days, discussion have centered around who will pick the ADC presidential tickets. Obi has said he's not ready to be a running mate to anyone. And Atiku has said, let us go to the primary. He said he doesn't want to hear the issue of, say, step down for a Southern candidate. Let us go to the primary, and whoever emerge should be the ADC presidential candidate 2027. Joining us to discuss this several issues he's been joined by Olalekan Ige, political analyst from Rivers State, Port Harcourt. He's going off from Port Harcourt. Ige, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good afternoon and thanks for having me.
Good to have you. We tried previously, we couldn't have you on the program. Finally, you are here.
Oh, yes, thank God.
What is your take on the coalition itself?
Well, I think there is nothing extraordinary out of the coalition, given our recent experience. and democracy. It's not the first time politicians are coming together.
Yes.
Even under the military juntas we've had in Nigeria, right from when Ibrahim Babangida was there till Sani Abacha and all of that. It's not the first time politicians from different camps, so to say, are coming together to try and put their weight behind a political party. So there's nothing extraordinary in what we are seeing. After all, the ruling All Progressives Congress came into being sometime in 2013. And if you recall, you had people from the then Action Congress of Nigeria, people from PDP, people from AMPP, people from all manner of political parties came together to form the APC in 2013. So it's not strange. It's not new.
For some people, the coalition is significant and important, and it's coming at a period where the opposition parties seem to be crumbling, and a lot of them are having internal crises. Some say it is the APC has a hand in it. To some people, it is exciting and interesting to see opposition leaders, knowing the fact that it is not all the time you see these people come together to agree to an alliance. So, for some people,
remember in 2013, different politicians from different political camps came together to form the APC. There's nothing new in one ADC or those who have decided to come together to go to ADC. Is there anything strange in what they've done? In 2013, when APC came into being, 7 PDP governors became members of the APC, 7 senators, 7 House of Rep members of diverse political parties. You had the NPDP then. You have some part of AMPP.
Yes.
You had a vast majority of the Action Congress of Nigeria. You had people from all manner of political backgrounds coming together to form the APC in 2013. So what is new in what ADC is doing? There's nothing new. Atiku was one of the founding fathers of APC at the time, founding fathers of PDP in 1998. At the time he joined Action Congress, at the time he joined APC, at the time he came back to PDP. Now he's leaving PDP. Check almost all of the major political actors in the ADC. Peter Obi was once in ABGA. From ABGA, he defected to PDP. From PDP, he defected to Labour Party. From Labour Party, is doing business with ADC. What of David Mark? What of Chibuike? Rotimi Amechi. Look at almost all of the major figures that are in ADC today. They were once part of one political party or the other.
So, what is your fear looking at the composition of this key position we have come together to form ADC? What fear do you have? We know the key challenge is to they want to challenge Tinubu in 2027 to stop the election of the incumbent. What is your fear? There have been analysts have said, oh, would they be able to put aside their political interests? We know these people, they want a lot of them want to contest, and we already seen that in the last few days the banter about who is going to be the ADC presidential ticket. Atiku coming out yesterday to say, no, I will not step down for a certain candidate. And Peter will be saying, I must speak the clear. I'm not ready to be a running mate to anybody. What is your fear about the coalition?
There's no fear in this. All of what you are saying now have happened at other times in political parties. Remember that when APC came into being in 2013, they had this same problem. Who was going to be the flag bearer of the party? Who was going to be the presidential candidate of the party? Who was going to step down for who, or who was not going to step down for who? It's not new. All of what you are witnessing now,
what I'm saying,
they are not new. Hold on. They are not new. Even when Buhari was exiting office as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there was massive contention inside the APC. Who was going to succeed Buhari? Eventually, I think all the contentious powers simmered at a little bit. Eventually, we had the top 3 candidates going into that primaries: Tinubu, Amechi, and the then Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. What ADC is facing at the moment is not new.
The fear is that this interest may likely divide the coalition before it even starts.
So when you say fear, who should be afraid?
Don't you agree?
Is it Nigerians that should be afraid, or members of ADC? ADC is just one of the numerous political parties in Nigeria. Why should anybody be afraid? But it's not mandatory that they must vote for ADC in the coming election.
Which of the parties do we have? Which of the I want to disagree with you. Which of the parties do we have? Apart from APC, which of the parties do we have? We know the PDP.
In 2023, did you believe that YPP was going to win election in Nigeria? Did you believe that SDP was going to win election in Nigeria?
But
it's
that,
a movement.
but that
What
was
is at
then.
stake?
But that was then.
No.
What we've seen in the last 2 years is that most of these smaller parties have they have been infiltrated by the opposition, by the ruling party, and they seem to be in crisis.
No, the challenge before ADC is to put it out in order. As of today, the only challenge before ADC is to put their house in order. Once they put their house in order, they can now begin to think of how to challenge the ruling All Progressive Congress anywhere in the world. And I underline it, anywhere in the world. It is not easy to defeat an incumbent in office. He already has an advantage over you in any country in the world, more so Nigeria. The truth is, Tinubu has the edge at the moment because he's able to hold his political party, and it's almost guaranteed that Tinubu will be the presidential flag bearer of APC. So he's under less pressure to satisfy so many people that will contest the presidential primary of APC with him. The onus, the pressure is on ADC to put it out in order.
Are you worried about the structure? Many people have said that the structure of the ADC across the country, a lot of states, ADC seem not to be in existence. In Lagos here, I can't really know where their office is. Don't you think what the ADC should be doing now is about building structures? Couldn't this affect the party, the chances of against the APC in 2027?
That's why they have started early. If you ask me, they've started early in 2025. Election is still about less than 24 months away. They've started early. You've seen what has happened in some states where PDP is saying they are collapsing their structure to form ADC in their state. We've seen that in Adamawa. We've seen what happened in Benue. We've seen where other key political leaders of ADC are now going back to their states to try and hijack some kind of existing structure they have on ground. The good thing is that a sizable majority of those that are in ADC today...
Let me just ask you this. We're running up before I forget. What is your take in the current, will I call debate now? Obi should, Atiku should step down for Obi. This is the turn of the South. Atiku said, oh, I can't step down. Let's go to open primary. Who do you think should be the candidate? Who do you think have an upper hand? Some people have said, within the North, it is only another candidate that can defeat the incumbent. What is your take in all this?
If you look at the last presidential election, there are top two candidates in ADC as of today. That is, if Obi is a member of ADC. Obi is yet to confirm his membership of ADC.
Okay.
Yes, the fact that he attended the meeting does not make him a member. You can be an observer at a meeting and try to explore the chances of what you can get from that party. As of today, Obi is still a member of Labour Party. He has not resigned. So until Obi arrives at ADC, only then can we begin to debate, will it be Obi, will it be Atiku? As it stands today, Atiku contested 2023, he came second. It gives him the leverage to actually argue that he should rather be the candidate of the ADC because he has the track record of what he has done. So I would rather say, if ADC is looking at the candidate, then Atiku probably have the highest bargaining power.
Do you fear that do you fear the way the opposition are going, Atiku and Obi may stand, they may not agree and decide to go solo and contest against the incumbent? Don't you think this will probably affect the opposition chances and probably giving for the president, favor the president to win again?
If they decide to go their separate ways, then they're giving a huge advantage to the incumbent president. That's just it. They've given a huge advantage because we only go back to the 2023 scenario. So you can imagine, Obi had about 6-point-something million votes in 2023. Atiku had about 6-point-something million votes in 2023. It meant that if both of them had stayed together, that gave you about slightly around the region of 30 million. So let's say some people might not be happy with one of them being the running mate of the other. Remove another 3 million votes from there. It means that they could have stood an advantage in 2023.
Finally, in one word, do you think Atiku should contest? This talk about Atiku contest. Should Atiku step down for Peter Obi? Should he contest?
Atiku deserves the guaranteed and fundamental human right to contest any primary. It is not the business of anybody to tell somebody who should contest and who should contest. It is a personal decision of that person if he does not want to contest. Otherwise, it is his guaranteed right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. That's been Inside Policies for this week. I've been speaking with Olalekan Ige, been looking at the coalition chances against the APC and President Bola Tinubu in 2027. Join us next week on Inside Politics. My name is Inyobong Iwok. You can follow me on Twitter. Twitter handle is there at inyobong2work.com.